The evening sun dipped behind the skyline of New York City, casting long shadows across the busy streets. The sound of car horns and distant chatter filled the air. Yet for Liam, the city felt both alive and indifferent. He adjusted his worn backpack and walked briskly, the weight of his day's work pressing down on his shoulders. Life had never been easy for him. Born into poverty, each day was a struggle to make ends meet. But he had dreams, quiet, persistent dreams that kept him going. Meanwhile, across the bustling train station, Eva stood impatiently, scrolling through her phone. She was dressed impeccably, her designer coat reflecting the soft golden glow of the streetlights. Despite the luxury surrounding her, a subtle loneliness lingered in her eyes. Her life was one of comfort, privilege, and expectation, but also of isolation. For all the parties, lavish trips, and perfectly curated images, there was no warmth that she felt was truly hers. As the train screeched to a halt, a sudden gust of wind knocked Eva's bag off her shoulder. It tumbled across the platform, and a small but precious item, her brand new phone, slid dangerously close to the edge. In an instant, Liam noticed. Without thinking, he darted forward, scooping up the bag and holding it firmly in his hands. "You're going to lose it," he said, his voice steady, though his heart pounded. Eva looked up, startled, then quickly realized that the young man in front of her was holding her bag and saving her prized phone. "Oh my, thank you. I don't know what I would have done," she stammered, a nervous smile appearing despite her shock. For a brief moment, the city noise seemed to fade. Liam handed the bag back to her, and their eyes met. It was a fleeting connection, yet something in that glance lingered, unspoken yet profoundly understood. Two lives, so different in circumstances, had collided in a simple act of care, and in that collision, the first sparks of something unexpected were born. "You're welcome," Liam replied softly, brushing off the encounter as if it were ordinary, though his mind replayed her smile over and over as he walked away. Eva watched him leave, a warmth rising in her chest she couldn't explain. As the train roared past, carrying Eva toward her apartment in a world of affluence, and Liam toward his modest home in the less glamorous part of the city, both felt the invisible pull of that chance encounter. A world of difference separated them, yet in that fleeting moment, two hearts had silently acknowledged a connection stronger than circumstance, stronger than expectation. And in the heart of New York, where millions of stories crossed paths every day, this one was just beginning, quietly, unexpectedly, yet with the promise of profound change. The next morning, New York City buzzed with life. Liam pushed through the crowded streets, carrying trays of coffee and pastries from the small cafe where he worked. Every smile he shared with customers, every polite thank you he received, was a reminder that his efforts mattered, even in a world that often overlooked him. Yet, his thoughts constantly drifted back to the girl. From the train station, the one with the warm smile and the eyes that hinted at loneliness. Eva, meanwhile, sat in her sleek apartment overlooking the city skyline, sipping her morning coffee. The encounter with Liam had left a small spark in her chest, an unfamiliar feeling of curiosity and connection. She found herself glancing at the window, imagining the lives beyond her privileged world, the struggles, the dreams, and the quiet strength of those who worked tirelessly for survival. The following week, fate brought them together again. Eva returned to the same station during her commute, this time with a purposeful hope in her stride. Liam noticed her almost immediately, and a subtle recognition passed between them. "Hi," he said, his voice a mix of surprise and warmth. "Hi," Eva replied, her smile slightly shy but genuine. "I thought I might see you again." Over the next few days, small gestures became their language. Liam would leave a coffee for her at the platform, always with a brief note. "Have a great day?" She would respond with a tiny wave or a handwritten thank you, slipped into the cup the next morning. Their exchanges were brief yet filled with meaning, creating an unspoken bond that neither had expected. One rainy afternoon, Liam noticed Eva struggling with an umbrella that had flipped inside out. Without hesitation, he ran over and held it steady. "Here, let me help," he said. Wet hair sticking to his forehead, his hands were steady and kind. Eva laughed, a sound that seemed to brighten the gray drizzle around them. "Thank you, Liam. You always seem to appear at the right moment," she said, genuinely touched. "It's just coincidence," he replied, though he secretly hoped it was more. As the days passed, their connection grew quietly. Liam learned about Eva's pressures, expectations, high standards, and the weight of a life that seemed perfect on the surface but felt hollow inside. Eva learned of Liam's struggles, long hours, modest pay, and dreams deferred by circumstance. Yet in their small acts, holding a door, sharing a smile, Leaving a note, trust and care began to blossom. By the end of the week, it was clear to both that what had started as a chance encounter had turned into something far deeper, a bridge between two worlds, built on small acts of kindness, understanding, and the purest form of human connection. The city lights shimmered on wet pavements as Liam hurried through the rain-soaked streets. His jacket was damp, but he didn't mind. Tonight was special. Eva had texted him, inviting him to a quiet cafe tucked in a little-known corner of Manhattan. She wanted to talk, really talk, beyond brief notes and fleeting gestures. Liam's heart pounded, both nervous and excited. As he pushed open the cafe door, the warm aroma of coffee and pastries wrapped around him like a comforting hug. Eva sat at a corner table, her hands wrapped around a steaming cup. Her eyes lit up when she saw him, and Liam felt that familiar pull in his chest, a mixture of anticipation and awe. "I'm glad you came," she said softly, her voice almost drowned by the cafe chatter. "Of course," Liam replied, taking a seat opposite her. "I've been looking forward to this." They talked for hours, sharing stories that went beyond their chance encounters. Eva spoke of the loneliness hidden beneath her, perfect life, the pressure from her family to maintain appearances, the isolation of wealth, and the constant expectation to excel. Liam listened, silently impressed by her vulnerability. In return, he shared his own struggles, long days working in cafes, dreams delayed by circumstance, and the constant worry about making ends meet. For a moment, the world outside ceased to exist. Rain streaked down the window, casting patterns of light and shadow, while inside, their laughter mingled with shared stories of fear, hope, and small triumphs. When Liam accidentally knocked over his coffee cup, spilling a bit on the table, they both laughed uncontrollably, a sound that warmed them even in the storm outside. Later, walking together under a shared umbrella, the closeness between them was undeniable. Liam hesitated, then asked, "Eva, do you think, can people from different worlds really understand each other?" She looked at him, her eyes glistening with the reflection of the streetlights. "I think, if they are willing to be honest, yes. It's not about where you come from. It's about what's in your heart." The rain slowed, leaving the streets glistening. For the first time, Liam felt that maybe their worlds, one of struggle, one of privilege, could merge through trust and honesty. Their hands brushed, a fleeting touch that spoke louder than words. In that quiet shared moment, they both realized that connection was not built on wealth or status, but on shared hearts and fearless vulnerability. As they parted for the night, Liam felt a new kind of hope. No longer just fascination or curiosity. Their bond had deepened into something sacred, delicate, and powerful. Two people from worlds apart were discovering that love begins in understanding, and trust grows in the space between hearts. The next week brought a tension Liam hadn't anticipated. While his connection with Eva had deepened, reality loomed like a shadow over their budding bond. Eva's family, influential and wealthy, had begun to notice her frequent absences and her distracted demeanor. Her parents expected her to attend gala events, business dinners, and maintain the impeccable image of their family. They had no idea that the girl they thought so obedient was secretly spending time with someone from a completely different world. Meanwhile, Liam's own struggles intensified. The cafe where he worked had announced layoffs, and he found himself scrambling to make ends meet. Bills piled up at home, and his dreams of studying design seemed further away than ever. Yet every message from Eva, every small smile at the station, gave him the courage to keep moving forward. One evening, Eva invited Liam to her apartment for a quiet chat. As he entered, the tension was palpable. "Liam, I have to tell you something," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "My parents, they would never approve of us. They expect me to marry someone from their social circle, someone they consider appropriate." Liam's heart sank, though he tried to hide it. "I understand," he said softly, though inside a storm brewed. "I never wanted to complicate your life." "No," she insisted, her eyes brimming with tears. "It's not about complication. It's about reality, and yet, I can't ignore how I feel about you. You've changed something in me, Liam. Something I didn't know existed." They sat in silence, the city lights casting long shadows across the apartment floor. Outside, rain began to patter against the windows, echoing the turmoil in their hearts. Liam reached for her hand, and she grasped it tightly, a silent acknowledgement that despite the obstacles, their feelings were real. The next few days were filled with stolen moments and cautious meetings. Every text, every shared glance carried the weight of risk. Liam wrestled with doubt. Was love enough to bridge the gap between their worlds? Eva faced endless pressure from her family, each expectation a chain that threatened to separate them. Yet, in those moments of quiet rebellion, small gestures of trust and courage emerged. It was clear their love would not be easy. Society's expectations, family pressures, and economic differences were towering obstacles. But the more challenges they faced, the more determined they became to nurture their connection. Through whispers in rain-soaked streets, secret coffees, and small acts of courage, Liam and Eva realized that true love often demands not just emotion, but resilience and sacrifice. The morning sun barely broke through the gray clouds over New York City, but Liam was already on the move. His mind was heavy with decisions that could change the course of his life. The cafe where he had worked tirelessly for years had finally let him go. Bills piled up at home, and his dream of studying design in the city seemed impossible. Yet, despite the setbacks, one thought gave him strength: Eva. Meanwhile, Eva was dealing with her own battles. Her parents had grown suspicious of her absences and her preoccupation. Invitations to high-profile events were becoming obligations, and every moment she spent thinking about Liam felt like a rebellion she couldn't afford. But her heart refused to obey logic. It was drawn to Liam's kindness, his honesty, and the unwavering way he made her feel seen in a world that often overlooked her. One evening, Liam decided to confront reality. "Eva," he said, meeting her at their usual spot under the rain-slicked streetlights, "I may have to leave the city to pursue my dream. I can't promise when I'll be back, but I want you to know that you've changed my life. You've made me believe in love, even when everything else seems impossible." Tears welled up in Eva's eyes. "Liam, I can't ask you to stay because of me, but leaving you behind doesn't feel right either." She reached for his hand, holding it tightly. "Whatever happens, we have to stay true to ourselves." The following days were a whirlwind of preparation, uncertainty, and small acts of courage. Liam applied to design programs in smaller towns, seeking scholarships and part-time jobs that could sustain him. Each rejection letter was a punch to his spirit, but each small approval fueled his determination. Eva quietly supported him, sending notes of encouragement, arranging small gifts, and standing as a silent witness to his struggle. Their love became a delicate dance between sacrifice and determination. Liam sacrificed comfort and stability to chase his dream, and Eva risked familial disappointment to nurture their connection. Every meeting was precious, every moment together a treasure. Even the simplest gestures, a shared umbrella, a cup of coffee, a gentle smile, were imbued with meaning. One night, as they walked through a quiet park, Eva whispered, "Liam, love is never simple, but it's worth it. Your courage inspires me, and I hope my support gives you strength too." He smiled, feeling the weight of the world lighten just a little. "It does, and I promise, no matter what, we'll find our way." In that moment, standing together under the soft glow of the city lights, Liam and Eva realized that true love is not just about passion, it is about sacrifice, determination, and the unwavering courage to hold on to hope, even when the world seems determined to pull them apart. The city streets glistened with the first light of dawn, and for the first time in weeks, Liam felt a calmness he hadn't known in months. After months of uncertainty, sacrifices, and whispered hopes, the day of their reunion had finally arrived. His application to a prestigious design program in a smaller town had been accepted, and he had found a way to stabilize his life without abandoning the connection that had changed him forever. Eva waited at the train station, her coat wrapped tightly around her, and a small bouquet of daisies in hand, a symbol of the simplicity and purity of what they shared. As Liam's train approached, her heart pounded, a mix of anticipation and relief. She had spent weeks worrying about him, thinking about the small acts of courage and love that had carried them through. And now the moment of truth had come. The train screeched to a halt, and Liam stepped onto the platform. Their eyes met instantly. The city noise faded as if the world itself held its breath. Without hesitation, Liam walked toward her, his steps deliberate, yet filled with the nervous excitement of a young man standing before the person who had become his anchor. "Eva," he whispered, his voice cracking slightly with emotion. "I'm here. I didn't give up. Because of you. And I don't ever want to." Tears spilled from Eva's eyes as she stepped forward, closing the distance between them. "Liam, I never stopped believing in us. No matter the challenges, no matter the obstacles, we held on." They embraced, holding each other tightly under the soft glow of the station lights. For a moment, nothing else mattered. The rain that had threatened to ruin so many plans, the societal pressures, the distance, the economic disparity, all faded into insignificance. What remained was love, courage, and the unwavering human spirit that had carried them through. As they pulled back slightly to look into each other's eyes, Liam smiled. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. Every struggle, every moment of doubt led us here. Eva nodded, placing her hand over his heart. And this is just the beginning. Together we can face anything. In that instant, the bustling city around them seemed softer, warmer, filled with a quiet testament to the power of humanity and love. Two people from entirely different worlds had proven that empathy, honesty, and small acts of courage could bridge the deepest divides. Theirs was a love not defined by wealth or status, but by heart, sacrifice, and unwavering trust. And as the sun rose over New York City, casting a golden light over streets that had witnessed countless stories, Liam and Eva walked forward together, hand in hand, a living proof that humanity and love triumph over circumstance.